Well, let me tell you something, brother. Welcome you guys back to Vinnies Talk. And, we haven't done a podcast in a while, This past weekend was my birthday, and a lot of things have been going on in the world. First off, I want to say rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne and the immortal Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do, brother? When I think about the passing of Hulk Hogan, and also Ozzy. First, let's go to Ozzy. We'll go with the incredible Hulk Hogan. Always loved Black Sabbath. I always loved Sabbath, the music. The rock music, heavy metal. Obviously, I listen to more reggae, but I love rock and roll. And a lot of this music, as growing up with this music. It's the same thing with Hogan, right? Growing up listening to the music, it's just, if it wasn't for rock and roll, Elvis Presley, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, the way the music, the way the music is now, I just feel like, man, there's something about the music in the way older music touches you that, I don't know if it's the poetry, the way the artist writes it. It's just the way the music now is just, it's not the same, dude. Ozzy was a special person, especially when he was with the band of, Black Sabbath. So that was kind of hard for me, man, when I heard the news. Now with Hulk Hogan, man, it's a big part of my childhood. I just had my birthday. And everything that's been going on in the world, everything that happened last year with my dog passing, and long live Little Ma. I did get a new dog, but at the same time, she'll never replace. I'm not trying to replace, but this summer has been crazy, and also, when I got the news hearing about Hulk Hogan, I was taking a nap, and, I didn't think about any of this. I just heard the news that Ozzy died, and hearing that Hogan just died. I mean, dude, that just kind of effed me up even more, especially, around my birthday. And I know it's a part of life, and we have to go on and accept it, because I know Hulk Hogan wouldn't want us to be, listen, brother, we wouldn't want to being depressed, but it just feels like everything's happening so fast, blow after blow. Excuse me, guys, while I get a little drink of Wawa. But this last summer, it's like I've been jumping through hurdles, man, and I've been dealing with this, I've been dealing with that. By the way, I appreciate you guys liking my videos, hitting up the shorts, watching the shorts, all my Jurassic World stuff. I'm going to be doing more of that, and I believe we got a digital release coming soon for a rebirth Jurassic World. But with Hulk Hogan, man, as growing up as a little kid, and following wrestling, professional wrestling, back in those days, growing up, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. And the NWO for life, man. NWO for life. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I mean, not only did it touch my life when I was a kid, and my upbringing, and so many things happening at once, but I thought about that one night when I was at home, one night, and I was watching, Scott Hall, Reza Ramon, Big Diesel, Kevin Nash, And, you know, for once, I could remember the time that wrestling, when wrestling was wrestling. Back, you guys know, back in the WCW days. How great, how loud the fans were, right? When Hogan was in the ring. I mean, even when The Rock had his last match. Not his last match. I mean, when The Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania had their match, and how electrifying it was. And I feel like that's when wrestling was at its peak. That's when wrestling was wrestling. And, you know, all this crazy shit that I see online and comments and vile shit. And I mean, we're not the most perfect people, and only God really can judge us. But when we die, and, you know, I really do feel like, you know, only God can really judge us. And set aside everything else, man. Hulkamania always will run wild. His legacy will live on. And, you know, I mean, dude, when you think about what Hulk did, right? Not just for wrestling, but even, you know, in the movies with Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, you know, how he picked Stallone up, you know, he threw him up. Man, dude, I mean, the way that Hulk touched wrestling and inspired other wrestlers, and he changed the game, dude. There will never be no one like Hulk Hogan, man. It's NWO for life. And, you know, so I was a little effed up, man, a little messed up hearing about that. It just kind of fucked me up a little bit, and it made me reflect on my life. And then, you know, reading some of these comments of people, and just, guys, you got to put some respect on the man's name. You got to put respect, and you got to respect everyone who's no longer with us. A lot of things been going on in my life where I've been really wanting to do podcasts, but I've been doing other things on the side, trying to make videos and doing movie reviews and all this stuff. But man, when I heard about this news about Hulk, man, I was just like, not another one. After Ozzy, you know, and the music goes along with these different tributes, and I've been trying to come up with my own tributes. But I have to say this one was tough for me, man, because growing up as a kid, I was always really heavy into wrestling. Obviously, I'm still in, but not like I was, man. You know, as I grew up watching The Warrior, The Ultimate Warrior, I grew up watching Hulk Hogan and, you know, WCW and Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, man, WWF, you know, Triple H, and these guys that, you know, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, man, a lot of these guys wouldn't be here today. And I want to just send a shout out to the family of Hogan, man, and we give our best wishes and prayers, and, you know, man, because the Hulkster, man, touched a lot of lives, and he changed the game of wrestling, man. And wow, dude, rest in peace. So what you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother? You know what I mean? So, you know, that's been kind of messing me up a little bit. And, you know, Ozzy's passing. And also, you know, I had to make some choices of my own, right? You know, I was thinking about my dog that passed away. And I recently had to make a really strong, difficult decision to sell my motorcycle, man. And a lot of people are like, man, why did you do that? You know, man, these are trying times. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This is your boy Vinny D, the Young Wolf, man. You guys are on Vinnie's Talk. I want to thank you guys for joining. Give this video a like or not, you know. But man, dude, I self-reflect. And, you know, I think about, like, all this stuff, man. You know, selling my bike, how I lost my dog, you know. And you try to keep a positive vibe. A positive vibe, right? And sometimes, you know, you have to make these hard decisions in life. But you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You know, I didn't want to sell my bike, but at the same time, I was just like, I know that for now, it's the best thing for me because, you know, I needed the money. And, you know, the only thing I really think about is those memories that I had. Along with memories, you know, that I had when I was a very young person, when I was a young kid, right? Watching wrestling and I self-reflect on that, and, you know, watching Hogan, man, I was just like, dude, some of these times, you know, you'll never get back. And it comes down to, you know, with my bike and, you know, putting all those miles on my bike, going to the places that I went to. But I look at it like this. Sometimes you have to make these hard decisions. Gotta make these hard decisions, man. And I most likely will buy an e-bike. Right now they're trying to like ban e-bikes and all this other bullshit and put all these restrictions. When ultimately you get all these trucks and cars on the street doing all the damage. But of course it's the e-bikes, the motorcycles, and everything else. But ultimately, guys, I really believe that I made a hard decision, but I did what's best for me and my family. And also, I know that it's something that I was really passionate about, but also there's other things that I'm really passionate about, like doing my podcast, playing my guitar, possibly saving my own life from actually dying on the damn motorcycle, because they keep hearing about people pass away, but you could die 30,000 different ways. You know what I mean? Am I saying that my time is done for riding? Yeah, probably right now for motorcycles, but I will be probably buying myself an e-bike, because I just love to be with nature, love hiking, but also I just love riding. But you know what? Sometimes you got to make these choices, and you got to do what makes you happy at the end of the day. So, yeah, man, I want to get back to doing a couple reactions here and there, and when I could do my podcast. Right now, you guys are in tune to Vinnies Talk, man. We're talking a little bit about Hogan, talking about, you know, the passing and you know, where I was when all this happened. Like I said, man, I was just waking up from a nap, and the night before, a couple nights before then, I was watching videos, actually, old videos with Hulk Hogan and the NWO, and, you know, Sting, and coming down from the Raptors. And like I said, man, the business was the business back in those days, and professional wrestling, and no one will ever replace Hulk Hogan for what he was and what he did for the wrestling business. And such a legendary performer on and off screen, you know, I mean, but all I could say is, man, rest in peace to one of my childhood heroes. And that was a hard one for me, dude. And I'm still a little sad about it. But man, dude, it seems like things just keep happening. And then, you know, I reflect about last year with my dog. Even though it was my birthday, you know, I got a cake, beautiful dinosaur cake. I love my mom. Thanks everyone for a beautiful birthday. But at the same time, I just keep thinking about, you know, self-reflecting on old times. Been doing a little workouts here and there. Little workouts, the importance of staying healthy and clearing your mind. The weather, talking about the freaking weather, has been freaking hot. We're talking about 90s, and the weather's here, and it's just like every day is freaking hot. The heat index is up to like a fucking 100. What do you want from me? The heat index is up to 100. Can I get a break? Go outside, smoke a number, or just chill? And as I had this like really bad cough. I still have a little bit of a cough. I can't really, excuse me, I can't really breathe all that good. I feel a little bit better today. So I decided to, why not do a quick podcast? Why not, Vinny? Why not do a podcast? And just talk a little bit for a moment. But yeah, man, other things that I'm looking forward towards. I mean, I had a decent birthday besides everything that happened with, you know, the passing of the, you know, Hulk Hogan. I'm looking forward towards the next year. This month, I'm going to put out a couple more reaction videos, and I believe we're going to have a digital release of Jurassic World Rebirth with the dinosaurs. And I do want to do a reaction, review of Tyrannosaurus Rex super colossal figure that I got for my birthday. So I want to bring you guys some different videos coming up, and why not do that? And but man, dude, sometimes, man, to jump on, do a podcast, you're like, what are you gonna talk about, right? What are you gonna talk about? And you're just so caught up in your mind sometimes, where you're just like in the time and everything else is going on in your life, where you can't jump on because you got things going on. But sometimes you just got to, man, relieve that stress. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's up, man. That's where we're at right now. And I was thinking about my dog, man. I lost her last July, little mama. And it's not the easiest thing just to get over. So you put things in front of that, and my out was going for a ride on my motorcycle, but then things were getting tight with money. I was just like, you know what, man? I gotta sell my bike, because money is just... And a lot of people are asking me, why'd you do that? And my bike was just sitting there. I wasn't really riding it too much anymore. I sold my scooter, I sold my bike. Things are hard, man. Things are hard for a lot of people. We're in a tough time right now. So the moral of the story is just got to keep going, keep trucking forward. Keep making these videos, right? But you want to see more videos, reaction videos. And NFL season starting soon, so hopefully the Chiefs are going to be playing more football. We're going to be talking about that, and maybe doing some more reactions for some toy reviews and stuff like that. But as far as everything else, man, I've just been I don't know, man. Sometimes you get in a funk and you can't get yourself out. Why can't you get yourself out? And you think about sometimes, and you think about this, you think about that. Sometimes I'll take a record, I'll play a record, listen to some Taylor. When I listen to Taylor, some of that 1989, Shake It Off, man. Taylor Swift always puts me in a brighter mood. Taylor Swift. Listen to some reggae, some Marley. Hopefully we get more of Taylor Swift this year. I haven't really heard too much about her, but it was really cool to go to the Jurassic World Rebirth of the release. I'm really waiting on the digital release. It seems like some of these releases some of them are very short. I know with the first Jurassic World, they released it pretty fast. Sometimes they take a little longer. With these other movies, it seems like they're coming out like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, what the hell's going on with the movies, man? Some of them, like the Megan movie, I didn't see the Megan. And by the way, the first Megan movie I really enjoyed. I thought that it kind of gave you like that Chucky vibe. The first one, I didn't see the 2.0. I definitely want to see that. I know it's on digital release, so I probably will see it at some point. And this year's coming out 2026. We're halfway through. We're almost done with summer, guys. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's been kind of a wild summer. Even though every time this July comes around, it's my birthday and anniversary of my passing of my dog. So I get a little emotional. I mean, as for a man, you're not really supposed to get emotional, but I mean, who the hell cares, man? You gotta be yourself. Who says you can't, right? Who says you can't get emotional as a man? A lot of people say you can't, but let me tell you something, brother. Nah, just kidding. A lot of people ask me the favorite dinosaurs. My favorite dinosaurs. We want to talk about favorite dinosaurs from the movie, from the new Jurassic World Rebirth. I mean, as far as the D-Rex, the Taurus Rex, it's like basically a hybrid of a T-Rex, right? And a lot of people ask me, what is a D-Rex? at first I was like, dude, it looks like a mutant version of an alien dinosaur. And then you got the Mutodon, the Velociraptor mixed in there with wings. New dinosaurs. I really love the D-Rex. My favorite dinosaur of all time is obviously the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the T-Rex. I know it's not a new dinosaur, but I feel like they changed the color tinge a little bit on the Spinosaurus, the Spinos, and I didn't know that they were so close with the Mosasaurus, and that's a beast. That's a beast in itself. When you really learn about the Mosasaur and how it swims, how it seeks its prey, man, when you see the Jurassic World, the first movie, not Dominion, not Fallen Kingdom, but Jurassic World, and how it really takes over in the water, because the Mosasaur is very smart, man. I did some research on the Mosasaur, and it's a very smart dino, man. So I would have to say that's one of my favorite as well, the Mosasaur, and the fact that the Spinosaurus are a tribe with it. They like help them out hunt and all that stuff, man. That's really cool. I heard they're gonna put out a trilogy. They're definitely probably gonna come out with a new Jurassic World movie after Rebirth, so we'll see about that. We got House of the Dragon coming out, man, 2026. Hopefully we get a early release on that. I'm not sure, but like I said, man, the weather's been real funky, man. It's been like 90 degrees. Go outside and you're dripping sweat. Like, dude, can't even sit outside, dude. My mom's like, I am not sitting outside. I'm not gonna bake. If I want to bake, I'll go to go to Arizona. But yeah, man. So yeah, man, I sold my bike. So how you gonna ride? How you gonna get around? How you gonna go out of these cool spots, hiking spots? Like I said, man, I'm gonna give me a nice little e-bike. I'm still searching for one, so. But stay tuned, guys. I want to do a review on this T-Rex that I got. But I want to thank you guys for joining a little podcast. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan, man. Definitely an icon. And more videos coming. Every little now and then I'll throw up a short. You know what I mean? I'll throw up a short. Whether it's anything related to Jurassic World, because I love dinosaurs. Whether it's related to something that I love, or something that I'm interested in, or just a cool little tribute. I love doing that. So stay tuned, guys. I want to thank you guys for joining. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Vinny D, the Young Wolf. It's NWO for life. You know what I mean? And rest in peace to the great Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne, man, for life. Vinny D, baby, let's go.